Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live Hajj Special. Stay with me for the next hour or so as we chat to the officials representing and taking care of all the South African Hujjaj in the Kingdom of Makkatul Mukarramah. We will now chat to head of the medical team as well as the Hafiz Moaaz Casso, Assistant Secretary General, and Dr. Razia Khan, head of the medical team. So assalamu alaikum to our representatives of SAHUC, and shukran so much for joining us on Hilaal.
Walaikum salam, Hawa. Thank you for giving us a platform to be here and explain to the Hajis and the people back home what our mission and purpose is for being with SAHUC. Jazakallahu khairan.
Khair. And then we also have Hafiz Moaaz.
Wassalamu alaikum, Mr. Taqawa, and to the viewers of Hilaal TV. Shukran for the opportunity.
So, as Assistant General, there's quite a lot of information that, inshallah, I'm sure you are keen to part with to the viewers rather, and let's get straight into that because there's so much information that myself and some of the Hujjaj are keen to hear. So, Hafiz Moaaz, please just explain the role of SAHUC in the kingdom. What are their current activities at the moment, and how are they processing all of that, inshallah? And firstly, how are you doing in the kingdom?
Alhamdulillah, we're all doing well. We can't complain. We're just seeing a lot of nerves and tension and anxiety from the Hujjaj. I mean, that is normal and obvious.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, but they're all in good spirit. A lot of them are performing several umrahs, and a lot of them are going for tawaf regularly. We see them moving all the time from Azizia, and they're heading towards Makkatul Mukarramah. So with regards to your question, obviously the South African Hajj and Umrah Council is known in the kingdom as the Be'tha, which is the mission, which is the South African Hajj Affairs Office. We are looking after the entire South African contingency, which is the allocation of our quota for 3,500 Hujjaj here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which involves the entire movement of any Hujjaj from the time of arrival in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia up to the departure. So any logistics in the kingdom has got to go via SAHUC, has got to go via the operator through to SAHUC, and we ensure that everything is documented, is manifest, the information is inserted onto the ES system, which then goes to the different ministry bodies, which has this information. Upon arrival, they take away your passports, they keep it safe for the duration of your stay, they issue it a ban or a card for the Hujjaj. And SAHUC is ultimately responsible if anybody gets sick. We have to facilitate a clinic where Dr. Razia and her team comes in. If anybody needs to go to a hospital, SAHUC needs to refer them to a hospital. If anybody passes away in the kingdom, SAHUC needs to facilitate that as well. So anything to do with the South African Hujjaj has got to go via SAHUC in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Let's talk about some of the personnel on the ground and what are their roles.
Okay, so we have a contingency of 41 mission team members that includes nurses, doctors, as well as mission field workers. In each region, we have a coordinator. So we would have one coordinator in Jeddah, we will have a coordinator in Medina, we will have a coordinator in Makkatul Mukarramah. And each of them have a team of mission field members as well as the official doctors, and we have mission field workers, doctors and nurses per coordinated team. And they ensure that they are at the airport for all the Hujjaj to receive them in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They ensure their movement and transition is smooth from the time of arrival until they get to their hotels. If anyone's bags get lost or stolen, they need to make sure they retrieve all their bags. They make sure they assist the Hujjaj upon arrival, and basically they facilitate the entire movement for the Hujjaj from the airport to the hotels, and when they depart from Medina to the train station or via a bus, that group of mission team members, they have to facilitate the entire movement. If any Hujjaj gets lost in the kingdom or is struggling to find, for example, a SAHUC clinic, or is struggling to find a place they need to go to, SAHUC will be on the ground, and they show visibility most times after Salah, so that we are visible to the Hujjaj for any assistance And if they need anything in the kingdom, we are there to assist them.
Alhamdulillah. Dr. Razia, the current stats now of how many Hujjaj, get sick and what's sort of the process when that does happen. And let's talk about what happens in the instance where there are more serious cases.
So, Sister Hawa,
Yeah.
at present our stats is sitting at 2,541 patients that have literally been attending the clinic, and that's the amount that we have seen. If I break it down, because people come into Medina, they still well, they feel fine. So our stats in Medina was 171 patients. And as the momentum builds up and they come from Medina to Makkah, we went up to 870 patients. In Azizia at present, we are at 1,500 and still rising. So in total, we've seen 2,541. From the 3,000 that we left, let's see how many more come to our clinic and keep us busy. But, we see generally very simple cases because of the weather changes, people not resting, people not hydrating. So we're seeing a lot of sore throats, basically what we call upper respiratory tract infections. Our main concern is the ones that are serious. We do go the further mile to make sure that we will make sure they get to a hospital. The people must realize that we are a primary healthcare service, so we will do emergencies, do the best that we can. And if we have any problems that we encounter that is not within our capacity, then alternate arrangements are made to send the patients for further treatment to hospital, and we keep in contact with the patients at the hospital all the time. So it's not that once the patients leave us and they are gone, but we are keeping in contact. We're seeing the progress of the patients. Many of our patients go to the hospital and get discharged. And alhamdulillah, so far we've had a very, very good response.
Of course, prevention is better. So is there any advice when patients are coming in with some milder conditions? What sort of prevention advice are you offering them?
Okay, so we actually started the prevention well before they even come to the kingdom. And that is, make sure that you hydrate well and you physically fit. Because Hajj is about having good health to make your ibadah. So what actually happens is they come here, and I understand time is a constraint. They want to maximize the ibadah. But if I can just forward the message and whoever is in the kingdom to please rest, hydrate, because now the big days are coming. We're literally not even more than 3 days away. The temperatures are soaring. So we advise our Hujjaj who come here to rest and hydrate and make sure they build up the energies for the next 5 days. Arafah can be very hot. We had a challenge last year where our blowers were literally gone for 3 hours. So in a indirect way, I can say Eskom, we had load shedding as well. We weren't spared with that. It was a bit of a challenge for us. So we do tell the people to get your energies back, please. It is vital that you rest here because it does become very taxing.
What types of resources are there for chronic patients and those that maybe have kidney dialysis or heart problems, and where can they get help?
Okay, so generally we appreciate it that when Hujjaj tell us that they are on dialysis, we have facilities here which we have to try and arrange beforehand. The Hujjaj arrives here in the kingdom. There's a booking system which gets done by the SAHUC team, and once they're here, they've got to come in with the necessary blood test, and then they do go to the dialysis center. Cardiac patients, generally, we prefer them to be on their chronics, but if we do encounter something that's not within our bounds, we definitely refer them to the hospital.
Hafiz Moaaz, please tell us where SAHUC is situated in the kingdom at the moment.
At the moment, the SAHUC team is based in Azizia. which is in Makkah al-Mukarramah, and we are very close to Mina. Basically, where we are staying, there's just a mountain in front of us, and behind there is Mina, which is the Jamarat and the camps. So that is where we are currently based. This is where we are housed, and this is where the Makkah team is housed from the time of arrival in the kingdom until departure.
For the 5 days of Hajj, could you elaborate on where you will be situated as well?
Okay, so on the 5 days of Hajj, SAHUC will be based in Mina on day 1, in Arafat on day 2, day 3, 4, and 5 we will be in Mina. Unfortunately, we cannot be in Azizia. Now we find many South Africans coming to Azizia, relaxing here during the 5 days of Hajj, and only coming back each night or the early hours of the morning. We cannot facilitate a clinic in Azizia, and we only have the medical team as well as the SAHUC mission team on the ground in Mina at the camps and not in Azizia.
All right, let's continue this conversation with Head of the Medical Team and Assistant Secretary General of SAHUC just after this. Stay with us.